What's up, YouTube? It is your boy Killer Kelby killing it. Welcome back to the Killer Squad. We got Thor vs Kong Death Battle.
Today in the battle arena, we've got Thor versus Kong.
Right,
Godzilla versus Kong asks the question, what's a king to a god? And today, we're going to try and
but
answer
I
that
got my
question.
money on
But
King
instead
Kong.
of Godzilla, we're going to use a real god, Thor. So who's coming out on top here? Who wins? Let's find out. Kong is the ruler of Skull Island, or
Mm-hmm.
at least he used to be. Now he's the ruler of the Hollow Earth. On top of that, well, he's one of the most powerful titans out there, to the point where he can be
Mm-hmm.
a rival to even Godzilla. So starting out in Skull Island, well, Kong was throwing around trees, smacking helicopters out of the sky, just
Right.
busting them all up, treated them like gnats or little flies. He was able to absolutely manhandle the little baby skull crawlers. Then he went up against the big one,
Ooh,
overpowered it
dang.
too,
Smacked it.
prying open its jaws and tearing out its tongue, some of its guts. So that was Skull Island. But then Godzilla vs. Kong rolled around, and we got to see adult Kong for the first time. He's able to pull over a big old ship, match
Mm-hmm.
up against Godzilla under the water, manhandle warbats. Then in his big fight against Godzilla, well, he was
Mm-hmm.
able to stagger the big guy, knock him down. But it
Exactly.
took him and his fancy new battle axe to put Godzilla down for good. And when I say for good, I really mean couple minutes max. And then Kong went up against Mecha Godzilla too, helped Godzilla overpower the big mech, and
Mm-hmm.
this time Kong and his axe managed to put the big guy down for good.
Mm-hmm.
And this time, well, I mean, for good, for good. So yeah, Kong is plenty strong. However, can't really say the same about toughness. Because in Skull Island, Kong didn't really have the absolute best durability. He was so big that gunfire wouldn't kill him, but you could definitely tell probably stung a little bit. And his hand even got cut up a bit when he tried to grab onto a helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, he did better in Godzilla vs. Kong, taking attacks from Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, and he got back up and kept on fighting. So it's
Exactly.
obviously a whole lot tougher now than he was before. But still, it's just worth noting that durability is gonna be his weakest point. Kong doesn't have any armor or like a scaly hide like Godzilla, or like a lot of the other monsters out there. So he's not gonna be able to take attacks as well as them.
Mm-hmm.
Makes up for it though. Definitely makes up for it with his strength and with his speed. I mean, Kong's a giant ape. He's built for things like agility. He's surprisingly fast and agile, especially for something of his massive size. And then, actually, one of Kong's greatest assets is that, well, he's got these very long and very powerful arms.
Mm-hmm.
And Kong uses them not just to grab onto buildings, also to hold other monsters at bay, not let them get in too close to him, and then just beat them senseless.
Exactly.
Don't really see how much good they'll do against somebody as small as Thor.
That's what I
Those
said.
big arms of his will definitely make it a whole lot easier to punch Thor around. He's
Exactly.
also real smart for a monster. Actually smart enough and skilled enough to incorporate using weapons into his fights. Like during the big old battle against the Skull Devil, he used a boulder to smash in the Skull Crawler's head,
Exactly.
jumped a
Like,
tree,
dude, that was dope to
transformed
see
it
him
into the
smash
biggest
into his
baseball
head.
bat you ever saw, and he even started
Mm-hmm.
swinging around a rusty old boat propeller. It's pretty consistent for Kong to use makeshift weapons in a fight. And plus, now he's got his axe. And with that axe, Will Kong was able to injure both Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, even
It,
when it wasn't
mm-hmm.
supercharged. So
Mm-hmm.
it should definitely be able to injure Thor too.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me, what's a king to a god? What about Thor? Well, just for starters, he goes around calling himself the strongest Avenger. Thing is, he can kinda back it up. He's been able to overpower Iron Man, overpower Loki, even overpower and stop Hulk. On top of that, he's able to send Hulk absolutely flying with one good swing from a giant
Yeah,
makeshift hammer.
that was tight.
R.I.P. Mjolnir. Gone but never forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all pre-awakening, pre-God mode. After that, well, he restarted the Forge. Nidavellir is one of the 9 realms. It's an entire array of rings and machines surrounding a dying star. Oh, we don't have any exact size. When you hear me say Nidavellir, I just want you to think big.
Mm-hmm.
And Thor goes in there, basically restarts the forge, pulls around Nidavellir with his bare hands. Broke that ice just by pushing, pulling really, really hard. I mean, yeah, granted, he had a little help from Rocket and his little spaceship, but that was mostly all Thor. Then in Endgame, well, Thor was even able to hold his own against Thanos in a grappling match for Stormbreaker, all while Thor was on his back and Thanos was standing over him and leaning in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I freaking love this because usually when someone gets you in a position like this and is holding you down, well, he's got you. You're as good as dead. Just ask John Wick. Better yet, ask the guy John Wick just killed. Except you can't because he was just killed because he was in that
Oh,
position.
come on, man. You gotta show that. He
But
cutting
not
his
the
eye out.
Thor was actually able to survive and hold him off. Real impressive, and it shows just how strong he is.
Yeah.
And just like Thor's super strong, also super tough, the guy knows how to take a beating. He was
Mm-hmm.
right at the center of both the Rainbow Bridge explosion, the explosion of Sokovia. Even took a point blank blast to the head from the Power Stone. He's been smacked around by Iron Man, Ultron Curse, definitely Hulk. Seriously, Hulk loves punching Thor, but he took a punch from the Hulk in Avengers, smiled. Even's been beat up by Hulk so hard, I began to see visions of his dead dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yet in all those cases, Thor wasn't knocked out. Sometimes he went on to technically win the fight, like
Mm-hmm.
with Hulk. Other times he was just toying with them, like with Ultron. He even just got pummeled by Thanos,
Yeah.
similar to the beating that Hulk took, if not worse, yet wasn't knocked out and continued fighting. Then, of course, we gotta circle back around to the Forge. I mean, the guy survived the heat, force, and power of a neutron star for almost a full minute.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that anyone has done in the MCU is more impressive than that. Then to top it all off, as if Thor wasn't powerful enough already, well, now he's got Stormbreaker, Mjolnir 2.0. It overpowered a blast from the Infinity Gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
It got Thanos right in the chest, nearly killed him. Later, well, it did kill Thanos. Then there's his lightning. It'll take down multiple Leviathans at once. While Jarvis told Tony that the Iron Man suit would actually run out of power before he even pierced the hide. Thor helped melt Ultron's vibranium body.
Mm-hmm.
He summoned a giant lightning blast that was basically the size of a freaking mountain, and even knocked Thanos back with a lightning blast. I mean, to sum
Yeah, I
it
mean
all
Thor
up,
is pretty
Thor
strong.
is a god. He's about as powerful as you'd imagine a god would be. So, I've already done a whole video about Hulk going up against Kong. And Kong came out on top, did so pretty convincingly too.
Exactly.
So what's so different here? I mean, yeah, sure, Thor might be a little stronger, definitely tougher, but is that really enough to justify Thor doing any better? I mean, Kong is still Kong. He's still knocking around 100,000-ton monsters. He's still taking attacks from Godzilla, Mechagodzilla. If Hulk can't beat him, can Thor really hope to?
No.
Well, one, I think Thor is more powerful than Hulk, point blank. So I don't think it's an apples to apples comparison. But two, I think it's actually Stormbreaker that's the key here. Like we said, Kong doesn't have the absolute best durability.
Mm-hmm.
If a helicopter blade was able to scratch up his younger self, definitely think that Stormbreaker can do some damage. I mean, the thing was overpowering a full blast from the Infinity Gauntlet,
Mm-hmm.
piercing Thanos in the chest. It's a whole lot better than a helicopter blade. And I think its size isn't even really a disadvantage here, because Thor can basically just turn it into a bullet. Throw it
Exactly.
into Kong, throw it through Kong, even turn himself into a living bullet and fly straight through Kong, just like he did with that ice monster.
Nah, no.
Might
Come
not be
on,
as
no.
pretty, Kong is a whole lot tougher, but I think he'll get the job done given enough time. On top of that, with how well Kong took that napalm blast in the
Mm-hmm.
first movie, meaning he almost died from it, don't think he'll do too well against Thor's massive lightning blast either. And I don't think lightning is as easy to dodge as Godzilla's atomic beam. So yeah, all in all, I think Thor is a lot more difficult of a matchup for King Kong than Hulk ever was. And yeah, I think Thor's coming out on top here. Thor wins.
Are you
But what do
serious?
y'all?
Are you serious? Are you freaking serious? You are not serious. Are you serious? Are you freaking serious? Thor wins? This is bullcrap, man. I hope you enjoy my reaction. Peace.